Hi, today I'm gonna be going over my builds for the lava amplifier for endurance. Sorry that it's taking a bit longer than the other amps, but I was testing a few changes that I did since the update, so I needed to make sure all the changes work before sharing the build. So, to start, we can check the spawns. There's spawns from there, very close to this ramp, and we have a few on this upper part. What I'm doing is a split pathing. Most of the huts are gonna come here into this main tunnel, hit by all the sand walls as usual. Then down here, hit by all the traps. Then here, more traps. Down here, if anyone makes it. And to the end. Then, for the other side, this one is mainly going to be for the huts that spawn in this upper area. When they spawn here, they can either go inside the tunnel, or some are gonna go inside this tunnel and come all the way down here and get pushed by this geyser. To the left. I used to have this tunnel closed and have a second damage tunnel here, but it was just a waste of kills because there's not many huts spawning on this side, so it was kinda pointless to build a full damage tunnel just for a few huts to even make it there. So this one is a bit more expensive on block off, but it's still gonna be cheaper than having two tunnels on each side. Now, this block off might be a bit harder to see than the block off we've used in other amplifiers for my base, but it's not gonna be too complicated. First, we can look at it from above. And let's start here. First, we are using these 3 edited floors, like this, just to shift the lava to here, and a bit of extra block off. Then 3 walls, 3 pyramids with nothing below, another 3 walls, another 3 pyramids with nothing, 3 walls. This pyramid pointed this way, so it serves a block off for this side and for this side. Here you don't need it because putting in a ramp here wouldn't be blocking anything because nobody wants to walk into a wall. Then surrounded by walls. Here just 2 walls. And that's it for this side. And these 3 walls to surround this first pyramid. Then we come down here. The wall spikes aren't gonna be needed. They don't really punch there unless you are moving around the base, which you shouldn't do while you're AFK, but I'm leaving them just in case you are moving around. Anything you place here, like these walls, these floors, like all that breaks from spawns, so it's pointless to have anything there. That's just going to break. So we're starting the block off at this point on the ramp. Then after those walls, here we have 3 floors with 3 pyramids. One is pointed towards this tunnel and one pointed towards spawn. Then another 3 walls. Pyramid pointed that way with nothing. Pyramid pointed towards the south. Another one the same. And just walls surrounding everything. Then here you can see that there's a bit of natural terrain. I just put an edited floor there and a wall. And all of this is just 2 walls, an edited floor, two more walls, edited floor, walls, edited floors, walls, edited floors, and edited floor until we reach the main tunnel we're gonna use. Then here we have a pyramid pointed that way, to the south. This one pointed the southwest. And I'm using 2 edited floors, one just a half floor, and one edited on the corners, and surrounded by walls. Here 2 more walls. And down below we should have these 2 walls. And then wall for the wall darts and edited floor. That would be just most of the block off. And I added this one lately, but maybe it's not really needed. You can test the block off if you can make it cheaper or not. I'm just sharing the one that I know works, but you can probably remove a few tiles if you start testing. Then here we can see that when we come up the natural ramp, we have a half floor. You can't put a full floor here because the halves are just going to break it, but you can use the half floor. Then we have that wall. That's gonna be this one. So behind that, just surrounded by walls. A cone edited this way. And a floor edited on the corners. So that's all the block of pretty much. And finally we get to this section for the Geyser part. That's gonna be dealing with smashers, mini bosses, and any HUS that chooses to go through that pathing. So here we come out of this tunnel and we place 1 half floor, 1 quarter floor. This full floor is actually to shift the lava bomb and make it land here. Otherwise it lands either there or more to this side sometimes. Then we place 2 walls. 2 walls. This one can be full, but I just have it like this. Maybe to jump here, and jump here, jump here. Easier when I'm using a constructor. But it can be full. This is only because if there's flingers and lovers coming this way, they don't actually throw from here. They actually wanna come to this spot, and they don't come through this little hole. They actually want to come all the way through here to get to there, and they get thrown by the geyser. So then we have this one, just a pillar. Because if you didn't have that there, some HUS can actually not get launched by the geyser. It's very rare, and usually they are gonna path like right through the middle, but I had a couple castlings sometimes just making it through, so just an extra pillar for safety, and nothing can make it fast. Same here, we're gonna have 2 pillars, and holding a ramp or a edited cone like that. This is also just to make sure that nothing can squish through that side. And then we have this one for the same reason, and this one too. These are mostly, sometimes maybe an assassin makes it to here, and that way they want to come up this ramp or that part. It's mainly because sometimes the geyser doesn't throw them too far and they land here again. So we have these two walls just for safety. And same with this one. Then we have the ramp. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors. And one last one. Then we're gonna have these 2 edited low walls. 4 more. 4 arches. Like that. And these 2 pyramids just to hold the entire bridge, just in case anything happens here. But this should take care of all the mini bosses. Any smasher that survives the tunnel, that should be only on like way 26 or 28. And any mini boss too. Like, we also have made us a smasher bridge, just in case sometimes a smasher can phase through the ramp, and instead of getting launched, it could land here, and it can pass this way. But it's only gonna charge at the amplifier from here, fall down, and the second time it should get launched by the geyser. This is just a bit of an extra safety. I know some other people just put these 2 low walls here with another floor, but I'm just playing it safer. Next, for the tunnel and for the trap perks, we can start on this side, on the spawn on the top. These 2 aren't really needed, but they're gonna be here for safety, same as these wall spikes. These are all gonna be healing wall launchers. These ones, triple impact, double reload, and heals attached. And same with this one. These ones are gonna be healing, so just wall spikes with heals attached and any perks you want here. I'm just using these ones, but you can use different. Then here we have 2 ceiling gas traps. These are also gonna be healing, because sometimes blasters and other assassin has want to come down here, like facing through this wall and start punching these floors. So this should be enough to kill them, or at least heal all the damage they are doing. So those are just the same as usual: critical rating, double crit damage, and heals attached. Then we have the usual just soundwall system. I'm using this first one with 1 reload, like this, 1 reload and full durability. Then we have 3 of these, 1 more here and another one here. These are all just gonna be the other 5 fastest reloads we have. Like we have here, and double reload. Then here we have a blue reload. Here we have a gray reload. Here with a purple reload. And last one would be the green reload. So we have 6 different reloads, just trying to avoid any explosions, because wave 8 it's always gonna have a lot of propane, so you really want to be careful with them, especially on a damage build like this. Then also, to help with the propane, I have a tire trap that you place facing this way when you place it. That way it pushes the house down the ramp, so the sun will have more time to actually drop the propanes. And for that one, I'm using just the regular crit build with 1 reload, like this: crit rating, crit damage, and 1 reload. Then here, just to send them down the ramp, You can use two different ones. You can either use, the usual for durability to reload, but that one runs out pretty fast. So I've been using 5 durability and 1 reload. Both work, but with 1 reload it's gonna last longer, like an extra wave, but it helps a bit more. Then we come to this tile, and this one can be other things, like you could use a wooden floor spike or another freeze trap. But I've been testing this for a few days, and seems to be helping more than the other traps. Doesn't really look like it makes much sense to have it here, because you're just pushing them against the ceiling. But it actually helps against propanes, because when a husky or a propaner is launched by the floor launcher and lands, it's actually staggered for a bit. So it's actually a bit more crowd control, waiting for the sandwell to reload. And this one is gonna have faster reloads than a floor freeze trap. For example, this floor freeze trap that I'm using, it's gonna be 3 durability, 2 reload, and effect duration. And the reload is 6.5 seconds. And this floor launcher that I'm trying to use is this one, for durability and 2 reload, and reloads 2 seconds faster. So that seems to have been the difference on the reduction of propane explosions that I had this week. But you could test with just wooden floor spikes like these ones, or you could use another floor freeze trap. That's up to you. Just showing what I've been testing a bit. Then we start with the damage traps. All the ceiling gas traps are the usual crit build. Just crit rating, double crit damage, and effect duration. Same with the wall darts. It's the usual damage, double crit damage, and crit rating. We have 2 here shooting through windows. Another there. And if you look, this angle is actually a window, just so this wall dart can shoot through. I didn't put any here, but you could use, like, for example, one floating there, edit the window on that one, and place the wall dart here. But that's up to you. Then for the wall dynamos, again, we're gonna be using nature. You could use energy if you have those, but nature is gonna be much better. For this one, that's at the start. We have one with a reload. This one's rating, double damage, and reload. And here we have 2 on the same tile, so I'm gonna be using one with a reload and one with double crit damage instead, to have different reload times on both. The same here, one with a reload and one with double crit damage. Here we have again 2 wall darts shooting each other. This one shooting through a window, and this one for when the cast tried to come down, another one. This one, I believe I'm using with the reload too. Then these 2, you could use a double crit damage on both, but sometimes if those traps start to run out at the beginning, there's gonna be a few more casts making it to the end. So I'm still using one with a reload and one with double crit damage. But up to here, just double crit damage on both this one and that one. Then we have the retractable floor spikes. Those are also gonna be crit. That's crit rating, double crit damage, and damage. And the same goes for the ceiling electric fields. Those are also gonna be nature with rating, double crit damage, and damage. Then these broadsides, You could also just chase these broadsides for another set of 2 wall dynamos and put an edited window here and put the welder here. You can do that too. I was just testing this, but both options are gonna work. And those are just gonna be one with the reload and one with double crit damage. Just like usual. Like this and like this. Then for the ceiling drop traps are gonna be all a crit build. And not those. Like this, crit rating, double crit damage and damage. You could also use with the reload speed if you want, but those are the ones I'm using. Then here you could actually just put another retractable floor spike, but I'm just using the fact that ceiling drop traps trigger tar bits. And this one is actually gonna do quite a bit of damage with crit rating, double crit damage and damage. You can see that the crit hits for almost 400k, but this one is just for fun. You can just replace it with a regular tar pit, or you can replace it with a retractable floor spike. It doesn't really make much difference. And then, as usual, just for the wooden floor spikes, I'm actually using healing just in case. Instead of durability on those ones, I'm just using the crit build, but with heals attached. And if you use a wooden floor spike here, it should also have heals attached. Just in case there is more explosion here than usual. Oh, and for the ceiling sapper, just the usual crit build. You can use the usual damage, double crit damage, and crit rating. And the last perk doesn't matter, you don't really need durability. You could use like heals or building health if you want it. Now, what can go wrong? Usually the main issue is gonna be just propane explosions. That's why I'm using so many sand walls and stuff, just trying to get rid of all the propanes. But still, with all the reloads and stuff, you can still expect at least 1 or 2 explosions every run. It's fine as long as nothing breaks completely. If the walls are damaged, the tunnel still works fine, so it doesn't matter. But if you have too many explosions, it could be an issue. But this should be pretty good at removing most of the stuff. Then usually the other issue could be durability, because this amplifier already gets attacked on waves 8, 18, and 28 every time. So if you start getting more than, let's say, 2 random waves, you're gonna have to start replacing traps. So if you get it, for example, on 126, you should know that you are gonna have to replace traps here. Like after we are done with shooting the UFO, you should come here, place your base, like around here, and replace a couple of traps. You don't need to replace the whole tunnel, but if you see that everything here is empty, at least replace a couple gas traps and at least like 2 or 3 sand walls, just to make sure everything goes according to plan. But that should be pretty much it. If you place a base here on waves 26 and 28, you shouldn't have any problems. Without the base, because of the low durability, you could run into problems, so I always just come here and place my base if I see that it's getting attacked on waves 26 and 28. Just playing it safe. Maybe you don't really need the base, but I prefer just to place it, just to make sure it goes to wave 30 every time. Alright, so that should be pretty much it. Now, why am I using just a damage tunnel when a lot of other people are simply using the Geyser to kill every half, or just to make them land on a platform there and make a shale. Just because I'm doing damage on every amplifier on my base. It's just for preference. I'm also gonna try to post my version of the Geyser shale, but that's gonna be after. Because I have to rebuild it and test it again to make sure it still works. But both options are fine. Like this damage base should be good, and also a Geyser base, it's also going to work. Then why am I not pathing them that way? That's mainly because of my AFK spot. When I had the tunnel on this side of the map, a lot of assassins were trying to break through the block of here, and it was annoying, so I just moved the tunnel this way, and all the assassins follow this straight pathing to where I'm standing. Or the others are gonna be killed by this assassin box that I already showed on my Valley view. Also, if you still have any issues, like if you have more has making it past the tunnel, you can, the same as Valley, you can add extra damage, like extra traps here, more ceiling electric fields, or you can even place like a wall launcher here and a ramp, because usually has are gonna try to come this way to this battery, and you can just make sure they die like that, throwing them to the lava. But usually they don't make it to the end of mine, so that's gonna be up to you. If you have less tech, for example, or less durability, you can still extend the tunnel. Alright, so that should be all for the build. So good luck building. Let me know how it goes, and see you on the next update for Heal Amplifier.